If it looks like I'm crying, it's because I got a crazy headache from my smoothie. Ow, oh, that's so painful. Why is your brain so in pain? Oh, I'm okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's casual. It's casual. I'm gonna put this down. And today I'm going to be telling you my most anticipated reads of summer 2016. Of the many things I've learned from Avatar: The Last Airbender, among friendship, the power of redemption, mercy, forgiveness, love, and happiness and silliness, I've learned the dates of the equinoxes and solstices, so I will be doing this from the date of the summer solstice to the autumnal equinox, so June 21st to September 20th, so it's a little weird, but I'm a little weird, so what else did you expect? So, I have 20 books to tell you guys about, so let's go into it. And I'm sure I will definitely miss books that I want to read and I just haven't found that I want to read yet, since I'm failing this a little early and the publishing industry changes. So a book that I mentioned might come out actually in 2017 or is already out by the time you see this, because they just change those weeks around and just keep us on our toes. It's fine, it's fine. I haven't read any of these books in summer series that I'm still in the middle of, so it's just a big jumble of things. These first 4 books come out on June 21st. The first book I want to talk to you guys about is Never Ever by Sarah Sadie. It's a retelling of Peter Pan set in New York City, sort of, and then they go to a tropical island off the coast of New York City. Does that make sense at all? Instead of Wendy and Pan, we have Wiley and Finn, and I've always loved Wendy and Peter Pan together in my heart, and so seeing some sort of reimagining where they get together could be exciting. The second book is The Vanishing Throne by Elizabeth May. It's the sequel to The Falconer, which I've really been wanting to read for a long time. I don't know much about this series, but now that I have 2 to look forward to, it might put a little more like pressure on me to start a series. When there's just 1 and I know I have to wait, I kind of am a little hesitant to start just a series from just 1 book. Sometimes it's not the case, but that's a trend, but there's many trends in my reading patterns. Those covers, oh my gosh, that red hair. I know every protagonist in a YA book now has like red hair, but I can't get over it because it just looks beautiful with the red and the blue. Oh, it's so pretty. Next is Mira in the Sky by Didi Karana, which I probably pronouncing completely wrong. It's a contemporary YA and I just found out about it this morning and I am so excited about it. It's about this Native American girl, Tara, who's in this prestigious like prep school, and they find out there's another Earth that's similar or nearly similar to theirs, so there's a doppelganger of every person on that Earth. I don't really know that much else about it, but just that premise alone, it's so different. It's so different and I'm so excited for it. Finally is Surprise Me, a contemporary adult novel, and I hope this book does surprise me with more than the premise. It's about a literary teacher who's also a writer who's mentoring a college senior in her writing career and the path they go on in the 20 years of friendship and their careers and potential love interests. Having recently been a college senior, like I kind of relate to that, but I hope that I can relate to the full thing throughout their 20-year friendship and possible relationship. It hints. I hate summaries that hint at how it's gonna end, because then I know before I read it. The next 4 books come out on June 28th. First, I would be so remiss if I did not mention the Hogwarts Classics bound set of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch Through the Ages. I haven't read these since I was like 10 or 11. It's a beautiful bound edition, so now I have an excuse to get them. Next is Invincible Summer by Alice Adams, a contemporary adult novel. It follows 4 friends after they graduate from college in the mid-90s and their 20s and 30s and how life isn't expecting them. As someone looking more towards the future than I have previously of what my 20s are going to bring and what my 30s are going to bring, I kind of been wondering what could it bring and what are the possible things that might be coming up that I'm not prepped for. So this kind of seems like a very wide mix of characters, and the cover's beautiful. So I don't know if I'll read this right when it comes out, but I figured I'd mention it and add it to my Goodreads TBR because why not? That thing's massive. And I Darken by Kirsten White. Okay, here's the US cover, and I'll take a look at the UK cover because that just makes me want to read it. The US cover, I was like, I don't know what this book means, but the other cover, I'm just like, what? It's about like an anti-princess who has to become a warrior for defending her people, and it just, the cover's everything. Next is We Can Be Beautiful by Swan Huntley, about this woman who doesn't trust anybody in her life and has everything, and it's a psychological suspense thriller, and I don't read very many of those types of, there's a new man that enters her life that she really doesn't know if she can trust. Her mom, who has Alzheimer's disease, doesn't really trust him, so I'm really interested to see what the secret is behind this new man that enters this wealthy woman's life. And then these next two books come out on July 5th. The first is Paper and Fire by Rachel Kane. It's the second in the Great Library series, and I haven't started this series either, but it's a book series about a library, and I'm interested in that. The Library of Alexandria just like fascinates me, so I really want to read this. The knowledge that exists out there in the world if you just go out and obtain it, but the time to read it all. Whew. And then Learning to Swear in America by Katie Kennedy, about a Russian teenager who somehow has to go and work for NASA and help save the world from an impending asteroid attack. But then he meets a normal girl who tells him like what life is worth living or something like that. I don't know, but I wonder if there actually are expletives in this book, but either way I'm excited to find out. The next two books come out on July 12th. The first is The Authors Odyssey, the fifth book in the Land of Stories series by Chris Colfer. I read the first one couple years ago, I think like 5 or 6 years ago, whenever it first came out. I was really interested in that perspective of like imagining and going into retellings. This was like right when retellings were like popular and huge, but I think I'll revisit this. I need to continue with this series because I only read the first one, but I'm really excited to keep reading this story because Chris Colfer is just boss, super boss. Next is The Light of Paris by Eleanor Brown, about a woman who finds out that her seemingly docile and respectable grandmother was actually like a crazy woman during the Jazz Age. So I really hope that we spend a lot of time with her grandmother and her grandmother's story, but I know it's going to be more about how she reacts to learning this and adapts it to her own life and her failing marriage and her unhappy life. But I really want to hang out with that grandma in the Jazz Age. If I'm ever a grandma, I want to be like the one that they're like, grandma did what now? Like, I want to be like the shocking grandma, like for real. And then, oh my gosh, the most exciting one in this video on July 31st is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the script book. Oh my gosh. Have you even seen the cast photos? Oh my god, the cast photos are exquisite in every way, except Ron doesn't quite look like Ron. Like, I think that's the only one I have a problem with. It's just, I don't know what it is. He looks too much like an older Tom Felton. I think that's, but with ginger hair, I think that's the problem I have with it. And I'm doing a Harry Potter readathon right now with RJ from The Secret Stacks, Allie from Allie Bobbity Books, and Teresa, one of my friends from Tumblr, Instagram stuff, and anyone else can join. We're using the hashtag AdultishHP because this is my first time rereading it in like 5 or 6 years. This is Allie's first time reading it. RJ's read it a handful of times. He's reading the first one on cassette tapes because that's just who he is. I'll link below our schedule because we're trying to finish them before Harry Potter and the Cursed Child comes out. I'm so excited. So excited. The next book is released on August 9th, and that is Three Sisters, Three Queens by the Queen of Tudor England, Philippa Gregory. It's about Margaret and Mary, the younger sisters of Henry VIII, and Catherine of Aragon, who marries Henry VIII after briefly being married to his older brother Arthur. How they went on to rule England, France, and Scotland as being sister-in-laws, and I really want to read this because why not? It's just, the Tudors are my favorite. The Tudors were complicated. You need a family tree studying them. You just do. Also coming out on August 9th is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, about this girl who has revenge and needs to enact vengeance. Aren't vengeance and revenge the same word? I think they totally are. Against the people that wronged her. She joins this Academy of Assassins. Also, if you pre-order this book from like anywhere, they will come signed. Like every single pre-order is a signed copy, and I'm like, Jay, I am so sorry for your hand. That sucks. That's rough, buddy. Coming out on August 30th is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, the second in her series, and I haven't read it, Ember in the Ashes yet, but the covers are beautiful, and I know very little except that it was one of the most hyped books about 2015, and I figured you gotta read what's popular, and you gotta read what's not popular, and you gotta read a mix of what's in between, and just kind of acquaint yourself with what people are talking about. And I have to kind of read the books that are coming out right now more recently so I don't get spoiled. That's why my classics are left unread, because I've been unspoiled by them, even though they've been out for hundreds of years. But of course I get spoiled about a book that came out 2 years ago. On September 6th, Empire of Storms, the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, comes out, and I'll have enough time to catch up before this. So that's my goal, is just to read the next two before September 5th. So I have a goal and a set date and time. Also, the coloring book comes out around that time, so check that out. Next coming out on September 20th, Kids of Appetite by David Arnold, about a murder but also a first love and how those two intertwine, how they fall in love while dealing with the murder. Finally, also coming out on September 20th is Three Dark Crowns by Kendaria Blake. This book is about a set of triplets who have to fight each other with magic to become the queen of their kingdom, which is just like, they're just killing off potential other relatives, I think, if they fight to the death. I don't know, but still sounds epic. It reminds me a lot of the Seven Princes in Stardust, and where they're all fighting each other to go find the star to be able to become king of the kingdom. They're all hanging about, all the dead ones, it's so funny. Alright, so let me know any of your anticipated releases from June 21st to September 20th, which is really specific, but I'm a specific type of person, okay? Well, my name is Laura, this has been Bookies and Cookies. I post videos every few days. I love each and every one of you, and I really hope you never forget it. And remember to keep up to date with upcoming releases, or else you're like 5 years behind on reading like I am. So, thanks guys. Stuff about this Assassin Academy, what is it? I don't know why I did a peace sign. I don't know why I did that.